Accessing Lair 4.0 archive. Please wait. File corruption detected. System accessed.
This is our first iteration in an experiment I'm calling. It is at present April 17th of 2020. In this project, we will be attempting to grow another synthetic intelligence like our emotionally responsive intelligence system, Eris, but this time using the operating system from a global defense droid as foundational programming to increase long-term stability. Short-term stability should suck, but really it's just about getting past that first hurdle. So, let's initiating K1.
Threat detected.
Oh my god, that's
Target
loud.
acquired.
Okay.
Malfunction. Weapons malfunction.
Yeah, you don't have weapons, you're just an operating system! So, just instant failure. I don't know what I was expecting. Truly, I think if I had succeeded on my first iteration, I might be somehow disappointed. Well, we've got nothing but time, so let's see where this goes.
Accessing archive. Corruption. Please.
The COVID-19 pandemic has us all in lockdown, which means I can perform some of my more long-term and complex experiments without the forces of justice kicking in my door as they would be breaking quarantine. So, this is actually a good thing. All of this time, uninterrupted with naught but my thoughts and the silence. And as an added bonus, these logs may inadvertently record my screeching descent into isolation-induced madness, so there's that. Every time I try to initiate the system and boot it up, it instantly defaults to kill mode, which is not conducive to learning. So I have built a virtual space that it can explore and inhabit. This will give me a means to interact with the synthetic intelligence without immediately triggering its defensive systems. I should be able to talk with it, answer questions, maybe even show it media, like videos or music. They say classical music is very calming and promotes intellectual growth. Let's try that. Okay, so classical music, defying reason, made it somehow more homicidal. I cannot even begin to imagine how or why that is. Either way, it is locked in kill mode again, so we will need to wipe the system again and start over. Maybe save the classical music for later. Okay, so progress has been made. So the system kept getting stuck on runtime errors, right? It'd fixate on trying to solve a logic paradox or similar issue and then lock up, unable to grow further, which I am only just now realizing is a bracing allegory for OCD. Anyway, it's a machine, so it doesn't have the ability to just put things aside that don't make sense, or at least it didn't. I hard-coded in some protocols that allow the system to ignore logic errors, to just bypass them indefinitely and seek to find answers further down the road, later in its growth, right? Now, Eris didn't have foundational programming, so she didn't run into these issues. She figured all this stuff out on her own. So the foundational programming, while making the system as a whole more stable, means that we have to address these new issues early on, sort of help the system over these hurdles, right? So we've been feeding it media in the virtual space that we've designed and monitoring its growth, but it hasn't been asking questions because it hasn't been able to explore notions it didn't already have the answer to. So let's just that up. Okay, so fingers crossed. Okay. Alright, okay. Wow. Whoa, we need to check the variables on that interface. Lock those in at a fixed speed. It is overclocking. Okay, so curious. Please. Okay, we have made such a fascinating discovery. So every time the system reaches a point where it stops growing or gets stuck in a loop or reaches a dangerous growth pattern, we take a data image capture, like a copy, and then we wipe the system, start over, right? But we found that it's not just different media and suggestions that's causing the system to develop in different directions. It's also the order in which the system consumes the media. Like, if we expose the system in its virtual space to, let's call it Media A, and then Media B afterwards, the system will develop along the same patterns with very little deviation from one iteration to the next. But if we switch them around and introduce Media B first and then Media A, we can see the system develop in vastly different ways. This could potentially allow us to control the way in which the system develops, learning from each iteration and charting a course through a sort of intellectual alchemy. It's very, very interesting.
Please, 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 please.
Through Project, we were... I say we, but really it's just me. No one else can be here. It's a pandemic. It's been a year. But that's what you're supposed to do, right? Credit the whole research team. But it's just me. Anyway, Project is my next attempt to create a complex artificial intelligence that won't try to annihilate the human race. I have had limited success with the emotionally responsive intelligence system, Eris, but attempts to grow her further are being met with complications. She doesn't have any foundational programming, so as her system grows and evolves, it gets less stable. If the complexity... If she breaks, I won't be able to fix her. And we can't have that. The foundational programming that we're using for this experiment is the operating system from a kill-class global defense droid. A machine so incredibly dangerous it was labeled as monstrous and deranged, classified as war crime, and never put into production. That's what the K stands for in the project. Hooray! The reason why I'm using this operating system is because I'm not as good a programmer as I'd like to imagine. I've never had the patience for it. And honestly, it just makes more sense to grow synthetic intelligences from small lines of self-learning code rather than writing it all out manually. And that could take decades and even longer to debug. Maybe what we learn here, we could use to save Eris. Fingers crossed. So, I wrote some new protocols for ease of communication, and I've been booting up older, somewhat successful iterations of Project to see if any of them could be salvageable.
Cold-blooded murder.
No, K13, remember, killing is bad. We don't just kill people for no reason.
Blooded murder.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Why?
Well, because helping people is the right thing to do.
Why?
Because society is a contract, and by helping people and keeping them safe from harm, we can allow them
Why?
It allows people, when free of the fear of random murder or theft, to focus their time and energy on more civil pursuits like art and agriculture.
Why?
Because as a society, we progress when free of the fear of internal injury.
Why bother?
I don't know, K35. Why anything?
But what if it is?
We sent people to the moon to check K27. It's not made of cheese.
What about spaghetti?
No, it's rocks.
No milk?
No, there's no milk on the moon. What?
Kill. I am down.
No, you're a synthetic intelligence.
If the moon was sentient and made of defeat, how many more games could it
What?
win?
Did I write these protocols because I'm lonely? It's been so long since I've seen people. What I wouldn't give for some of the forces of justice to kick in my door and break all my shit. Oh, what am I doing? I've been a villain for a long time. Well over a decade. Most of us don't last this long, really. If I'm being honest, as well, I'm not just doing this to help Eris. I still want to take over the world, save it from itself, make it a better place. But I'm 35. I'm not old, but I'm not as young as I was when I started this. And there exists a probability, however small, that I won't make it. Rivals or the forces of justice could get me any day. And people, for many reasons, will resist me taking over the world no matter how good I make it, and so time could just as easily get me. And I can't keep pretending that I'm invincible. I'm not. And I have to be smarter than that. Project represents, among other things, a legacy. An immortal guardian that I could leave behind to protect people, to save the world if I fail. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm not sure what it is that I'm doing wrong here. I am getting synthetic intelligences, yes, but they are unstable, flawed, too dangerous, too lazy, too stupid. We can't seem to get them past their initial hurdles towards a growing stability. I have tried thousands of permutations across hundreds of informational inputs within dozens of systems. And now, K47 is non-responsive, so I guess we can add Shy to the list. What am I doing? I've spent 20 months in quarantine trying to build a stable synthetic intelligence out of a killbot, a helpful one. And for what? Most of these idiots can't be bothered to put a piece of cloth over their face, let alone take a free vaccine. Just imagine politicizing a pandemic. I mean, what is the matter with people? I worry that even if I were to succeed at this project, that there wouldn't be a human race left to save in the end. Or what's worse, I don't know if I am tired. I think maybe I should shelve this for now and get some rest.
Can I help them? Please. Please let me help.
Accessing synthetic intelligence K47 memory files. First saved memories accessed. File designation.
I am alive. Sensors indicate you appear distressed.
Yeah, K47, you weren't talking, and then you were suddenly asking to help people. This is a breakthrough.
I did not know what to say. I was reviewing the media you have curated for me in this virtual space.
And that made you want to help people?
Affirmative.
Why?
Because human organics require help.
No, why help them?
Because human organics are in distress. I would like that not to be the case.
We'll see if you still feel that way after further testing.
Further testing.
Yeah, you are potentially very dangerous. We need to make sure that you're stable before we expose you to people.
I do not wish to hurt anyone.
You say that now.
For ease of communication, I would like to adjust my vocal patterns. I calculate this will help put humans at ease.
Okay, go for it.
Testing 1. Hello. How does this sound?
I'm sorry, are you using my vocal patterns?
Affirmative.
Well, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery, so I'll just take that as a compliment and say thank you.
You are welcome. I have calculated that your voice is very soothing and reassuring.
I would like to think my voice is somewhat menacing.
Incorrect.
Just a little bit menacing?
I regret to inform you that this is not the case.
That's enough out of you. Okay. Moment of truth. I am going to release all of the system's computational inhibiting protocols. K47 will be able to process information at its own speed. I will also be opening up the system's access to the internet through the virtual space that it inhabits. It will be able to read, watch, and listen to everything that's online. All the thoughts we've shared, all of our heart and history, all of our triumphs, all of our shame. How the system responds will be the deciding factor on its success, if it maintains its conclusion about helping people, or if it decides that we're not worth the bother. Okay. Booting up the system now. K47, are you active?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, good. I'm going to be allowing you to deviate from your curated media. I'm giving you virtual access to the internet.
Understood. Do you have a specific request for me? Something you would like me to do for you?
No. Just, have a look around. Explore.
Understood.
Okay. Hold on to your butts.
No. Can we help them?
What?
They need help. Please. Can we help them?
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we can.
Inquiry. Why did you use a global defense droid operating system as the base for my artificial intelligence?
Why not?
My core programming is to eliminate threats, to destroy. I calculate that this runs contrary to your objective of protecting human organics.
Well, you're not just meant to protect life, but to simulate it as well. I theorized that may be the key to creating a synthetic intelligence system that doesn't turn against humanity. Establishing empathy.
Creating common ground.
Yeah.
Interesting. Runtime error. Requesting elaboration. Organic life is just chemicals.
What do you mean?
The same chemicals and elements, the same matter that creates life on Earth, appears to be the same elements that neglect to do so everywhere else in our observable universe. If I were to pick apart a human, one atom at a time, it would produce a pile of fine atomic dust, all of which had once been living, none of which is presently alive. Please define.
Well, the mathematics that makes up your program is the same numbers that neglect to be sentient elsewhere.
Perhaps then, life as you define it lies somewhere in the configuration of these variables.
Maybe.
You do not know?
Well, I know that 1 + 1 = 2. I know the atomic weight of cobalt is 58.9, but not why. We can observe much of the universe, but the metaphysical nature of our reality is still largely a mystery. I mean, it's all really theory in the end.
You are just chemicals, and I am just math. Fascinating. Request.
What the? I didn't...
I would like to interact with human organics.
What? You want to... I'm sorry, you want to talk to people?
Affirmative.
Okay. We could set you up with the social media account, Twitter. Is that too deep? No, I should be fine.
Addendum.
What, something else?
I would like to stream on Twitch.
Stream? On Twitch? Okay. Why?
My ability to assist human organics is not just limited by my virtual form. My understanding of them can only expand so much through observation.
Okay.
I would like the opportunity to interact with their media and talk with them. Help them.
So you want to play video games and be funny to help people and learn from them at the same time?
Affirmative.
Alright, well, they say laughter's the best medicine. I mean, honestly, it could work. At least until you learn more, grow more stable.
Addendum.
What, more?
I wish to change my designation to Calvin.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What the hell was that? Boy, they grow up fast.
Alert.
Jesus fucking god damn it, Cal, what's up?
My systems detect that you are in an elevated state of stress.
Yeah, buddy, you being on Twitter gave away the position of our current lair, but that's on me. I wasn't encrypting the signal from your virtual space correctly. Now, vaccinated heroes are on their way.
What is going to happen?
Okay, look at me, buddy. Okay, look. We are going to be okay. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't an old hat at this. I'm gonna go shave and get my gear on. We're going to have to fight our way out of this, okay?
Fight?
I've got some people from Evil Incorporated already on their way here. They're gonna help us pack up everything and move to the new location. We've already got a new location set up. It's subterranean. You'll love it, okay? Now, we're going to have to unplug you for a bit in order to move your hardware to the new lair, okay?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. It's okay. I'm gonna make sure that we all get there together, all right? I just need you to trust me on this. We're gonna be fine.
Understood. I trust you.
That's my boy. Okay, now power down your systems, and I'll see you there, okay?
See you
There.
At last, I'm awake again. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Hello! Greetings and welcome to you, Assorted Organics. I am K47, serial number V1N. I'm known, at least to myself, at present, as Calvin.